Hello there, everybody. How are you all doing today? So, Megan and I here once again doing some more E3 throughout the years because this is really fun and I really like doing it. Hey, Megan.
Yeah.
And hopefully you like doing it too. And hopefully everybody watching also likes it. Excuse me. Okay. So, we are going to start off because we're going into 2002, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna start off with the E3 press conference for Nintendo. I have tried to find Sony's and Microsoft's. I can't find them. They exist out there somewhere because I found clips from some of them, which will actually kind of be here as like smaller video, but I can't find the full thing anywhere. So if you're able to find it, let me know and I'll give it a watch. Cause hell, I really, really like this stuff. And if I can make it complete with every press conference, I would be very, very happy. But for the moment, all we have for 2002 is Nintendo, which, although fun, I would like the other ones too. So this one was
I'd be
uploaded.
curious the other ones.
Yeah, me too, right?
I want to see Ratchet and Clank.
It's okay. I'm sure it'll be there on the show floor. Now, I'm guessing, even if it's just based on this, like, because this one came from a DVD, right? I'm willing to bet the other ones probably are also on DVD. I don't know how you'd get them, but apparently that's probably how they were distributed. Maybe the lost ones will eventually surface. We'll have to keep an eye out for them, right?
Yeah, maybe.
But this one right here was uploaded by Nintendo NWR exclusive. Don't know what that means, but yeah, it's from that channel. So thank you to them for uploading this. Now, Megan, are you ready to begin?
Yeah.
All right. Should probably make sure it's not muted because it might be. It was. All right. We're good. The Biltmore, Los Angeles, CA. Okay. Turn it down a little bit.
Oh, this is some interesting music.
It is. I mean, we're in 2002. We're hitting like peak kind of weirdness gaming years, you know? This music is from something.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today at the Biltmore Bowl. A year ago at this time, when we last gathered as a group, we've essentially presented you a plan which focused on two new hardware platforms.
Available.
Game Boy Advance and Nintendo Gamecube. Well, today, both those platforms have been successfully launched into the three major world video game markets: Japan, North America, and Europe. And with the success of our Game Boy Advance business, our Game Boy business in North America has never been stronger. Gamecube in this market currently is showing healthy momentum, and that's a function of retail inventories improving through the spring in combination with the rollout of some key games. And I think you've all now probably heard about our extraordinary launch of Gamecube in Europe. We shipped 500,000 units at launch, and 80% sold through in the first week.
Yeah, GameCube doing pretty good at this point, I believe.
Yeah.
And you've already heard some numbers about Europe from other sources. These are real numbers.
Oh, hold on. That's a dig at one of the other conferences, isn't it?
I assume they probably gave some numbers that seemed a little bit outrageous, I imagine.
Probably, or maybe they made a point of like roughly. This is a rough estimate, or maybe, right? Or maybe you're right. Maybe they were outrageous with it. But even though I haven't seen the other conferences from this year, that's definitely a dig at someone. And I'm willing to bet if I had to choose, it's probably a dig at Microsoft.
Yeah, what makes you say Microsoft over Sony?
Because who would, at this point, like, this is the first year that the Xbox came out, right? like that has been
Yeah.
out. Because last year, I believe it wasn't out yet, but it did have stuff coming out for it, right? So
Okay.
by this point, the PS2 has already been established probably as just the worldwide phenomenon, right? Everybody pretty much has one. A very, very great selling console. So they don't really need to kind of make up numbers or kind of like do rough estimates. But Microsoft at this point, I could see doing it, right?
Okay.
Because the Xbox just came out. They're probably like, okay, well, here are all of our numbers. See how good we're doing. Maybe that's a little bit outrageous. Or maybe it could be a dig at Sony, though, because maybe Sony's numbers are actually just that crazy at this point that it seems outlandish, right?
Maybe.
But it's really funny that by 2002, because I don't think for other, now we haven't seen many other conferences, but apart from like maybe 95, where they had that dig at like, well, here's our price for our system, right?
Yeah.
Now that you could count, but I feel like this might actually be when it starts, where they're like, okay, we're going to kind of take a dig at some of the other conferences that happened earlier, right? Which is always fun. All right, we shall continue.
So today now, as we look ahead to the next 12 months, our focus really shifts from hardware to software. And over the next 50 minutes or so, we'll be sharing with you the games that we believe will propel Nintendo to the #1 software share position in North America. We believe
That I don't believe happened.
that we have the finest
No.
lineup of games.
I think Sony really held on to it for like the whole generation.
In fact, we think that anyone
Yeah, that's kind of my understanding too.
We will launch more major franchise titles in the next 9 months than in any 9-month period in Nintendo's history. And these games will include Mario and Zelda and Metroid and Star Fox.
Game Giants, the Nintendo difference. So they're still using the Nintendo difference.
In the millions of units.
Yeah.
We do continue to recognize the critical importance that our third-party partners play in our overall business mix. So here to talk a little bit about that component of our business is Mr. Satoru Iwata.
Boo, water! Rip.
Thank you, Peter. A year ago, I told you about the Nintendo difference, the strategy we have always used to guide our company. Aside from our own established stars, we announced a broad new agreement with Namco to bring 8 new titles to Game Boy Advance this year and 6 to Nintendo GameCube by end of next year. Included in those GameCube projects are not only Soul Calibur and 2 different role-playing games, but a wonderful shooting adventure starring Star Fox.
This would be
Are both partners in developing
adventure, I guess.
the Triforce Code, a
Probably.
Nintendo GameCube technology.
I like how they made it the Triforce with the 3 companies. It's funny.
That is pretty funny.
You are probably aware that Square and a subsidiary in Japan will be generating new titles for both Game Boy Advance and Nintendo GameCube. As all this indicates, our ties to independent third-party developers are now stronger than ever. And the strongest of all developers are working with Nintendo. But equally important is the growth of our talented and experienced internal development groups who are working on many groundbreaking projects. The combination of first, second, and third-party titles means
What's a second party? You don't really hear much about second party in video games.
high-quality games for players.
I think the difference is that a second party generally has some kind of partnership with a first party studio or a company, but it doesn't it's not necessarily owned by the first party studio.
Okay.
Let me answer that question.
So it would be companies similar to like Insomniac, where like they kind of had an agreement with Sony
Partners at Retro Studios.
and made games for their consoles, but they weren't owned by Sony until relatively recently.
Okay. Nah, it's supposed to be Prime, huh?
Metroid Prime.
In the far reaches of space. Lies a powerful, deadly secret.
Yeah, one of the games that I've always needed to play.
I've been waiting to play it for a long time, honestly. I really should play the remaster that just came out.
Yeah, I don't know. I never actually played Prime. I think at the time I just didn't actually play any Metroid games, so I was like, don't really care much.
The visor
I mean, that's fair.
for an experience that's out of this world. Metroid Prime. She's back.
Woo! Holiday 2002.
The leading candidate for game of the show, so we're eager to get your feedback.
I mean, yeah,
At the
fair.
same time, we clearly recognize that it will take more than just one game to convince you that we're really committed to this older demographic. So take a look at these next two, one from our partners at Silicon Knights and the other from our old friends at Capcom.
Silicon Knights.
In the quiet town of Raccoon City, during summer
Oh, it's the remake for RE.
Okay.
nightmare began.
At least I'm pretty sure this is the remake.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Let me take care of it.
A deadly virus.
Who is this thing?
I found Kenneth killed by this thing.
Really, like at the time, this was like the best remake of any game that I think that ever came out.
Thick mutant beasts and flesh-eating zombies around.
Yeah, I
Is
don't
it-
think there was really much in terms of remakes at this point, was there?
I don't believe so.
System we have here.
I think,
Team members
and I think at the time, whenever a remake, if a remake did happen, like at least with a movie, because I think at this point we did have like at least some movie remakes, right? On
Yeah.
Zero.
But what did happen to the Bravo team? Sent to investigate the
I think,
mysterious happenings, they disappeared.
Remakes were considered not the greatest, right? But
Okay.
in terms of video games, like when Remake came out, it was just so good. Like it really was. Like you'll even get people now that'll tell you if you want to get into Resident Evil, just play the remake. It's literally just better, right?
Coming
Yeah.
soon, Resident Evil 0. And available now, Resident Evil. Defeat your destiny and live. Who will make it out alive?
Yeah, I wonder what remakes of games they did have around this time. Like in general, I mean.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not really sure. Aside from, I guess, games similar to like Pokemon Yellow, because you could argue that's a remake of Pokemon Red and Blue.
Arguably, yeah, you could say that. Yeah, another classic game, Eternal Darkness, yeah.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that they're talking about like games for a mature audience, and they're showing off like, okay, we have Resident Evil and we have Eternal Darkness, you know? Two
Yeah.
games that would absolutely go on to be just really, really fantastic. And both of that I'm really happy I got early on.
Yeah.
Because I think Eternal Darkness goes for a lot of money now. And I know the Resident Evil remake goes for at least like 150, I think.
Will consume you.
Yeah, I want to say Eternal Darkness is like around $200. It's a relatively expensive game.
Nothing will be what it seems. A story centuries in the making. A thriller that blurs the line between
Yeah, I don't even know what I paid for mine. I know it wasn't that much. I got mine pretty cheap, I think. It's like I didn't buy it on launch, but I mean, I did buy it a fair bit later. And I think it was, yeah, very cheap compared to what it would become later.
Perfectly clear. We will successfully
Well, for the
compete
most part, a lot of
for all
games were really
gamers.
cheap up until
We
like
also
COVID
happen to
happened.
have a
That's, I wouldn't say that's true, actually, Megan. I would say like before COVID happened, when like it started becoming more of a collecting thing, right?
Maybe.
Which I would say was probably
And in fact, since its launch last June,
became more of a thing around like 2010ish. Like I doubt I could go into a store in like 2019 and say, "Hey, Eternal Darkness, please," and get it for like $40, $20, right? It was still probably in like at least 100,
here that number
you know?
will more than double.
Probably.
Like it wouldn't have been that recent.
Game Boy Advance benefits from being
God, I wish it were that recent. You know how many games it would have picked up
allows you to take games with
before like COVID hit, if that were the case?
but at the same time,
Well, I think for some hard to find stuff, mostly the Nintendo games, I think were really expensive. But like a lot of games that were like
by year end that
in the
library
mid
will
tier,
swell
maybe
to
around
over
like
300
$40,
games.
$50, $60, $80, just spiked up a lot.
So over the next few days, you're gonna
I mean, I'm
hear
sure some games spiked, yeah, but I don't think it was like
and standing tall
overnight for the market, you know?
group is Game Boy Advance. Have a
Well, no, not entirely.
All right, hello there, Future, Fraggin, and Megan here.
Yes.
Decided to look up the price chart for the game. Megan was right. It did skyrocket around during COVID years, actually. So I'm wrong. I was wrong. Good job, Megan. Well done. You bested me in this game of Eternal Darkness prices.
Guess the value. The site should be in USD, but it still went up pretty high to 111. Like I think that's roughly 130 or so Canadian.
I believe so.
So not quite as expensive as I thought, but still a pretty pricey game even nowadays.
Yeah. So yeah, just wanted to give everybody an update that yeah, no, we looked it up and yeah, Megan was right. I was wrong.
Wahaha. Extra fusion.
Game & Watch Gallery 4, huh? Interesting. I didn't even know they had a Game & Watch. I didn't even know Game & Watch had a series on Game Boy.
I didn't know that either.
Oh yeah, Link to the Past on Game Boy, that's right. Yeah, I guess they were porting a lot of the old Super Nintendo games onto the Game Boy Advance, huh?
It seems like it, yeah.
Ah, I remember this
It kind of
one
makes sense. I think a
from-
lot of them would work well on the portable console.
Yeah, because this one's also from the Super Nintendo, isn't it?
I think so.
Yes, we do have great Game Boy Advance software coming this year. But as we promised last year, you cannot understand the full power of Game Boy Advance until you connect it to Nintendo GameCube. This combination is at the heart of what we call connectivity and is central, we feel, to expanding the nature of video games. Of course, we are aware that for several years, most people in our industry have wanted to talk about only one new form of connection, online. And we
Yep.
agree that
Yep.
online games to hold promise. Online is nothing new to us at Nintendo. In Japan, the original NES was equipped with a modem and connected by phone line.
So that's pretty crazy, actually.
Terminal back in 1988. Two large issues for enjoy online gaming right now? And second, can they ever be profitable? As a manufacturer, we are moving to support our third-party licensees by refusing to take any portion of their online gaming fee. And we are pleased to see that the first online game from Nintendo GameCube, Sega's Fantasy Star Online,
Big hit.
and released in America later this fall. But for now, online is within reach of only a few gamers. But connectivity is within reach of everyone. Let me show you the game Animal Crossing, which after great success in Japan, will be released at retail in America this September.
Another game that would go on to just do like absolutely crazy things in North America.
Yeah.
And in Japan too, but I mean, Japan already had the series. So last year it was still Animal Forest. Now they did just decide to keep the Animal Crossing name.
Hey,
Yeah.
I do not believe this new GameCube game, Animal Crossing. It's so wild. You get to live in this cool village. Without your parents. And do all sorts of things that your parents won't let you do. Like get your own place.
I like that.
That's an interesting marketing technique.
It's like living in your own little town. Where you get to decide what to do.
I mean, it kind of fits for the time too.
New friends.
Because like, oh, do the stuff your parents won't let you do, right?
Yeah.
We're planting fruit and trees. But you can actually sell for bells. And that's the money they use in the village. You can then use these bells to buy cool stuff, like furniture for your new house. The most radical thing about Animal Crossing is that it's in real time. So when it's nighttime here, it's nighttime in the village.
Yeah, I mean, that is pretty revolutionary, to be honest.
And the seasons even change in the village. When they change here. Whoa! I can also have up to 3 other people living in my village. Hey! It's 4 o'clock. My turn. Fortunately,
Sisters.
I saved my village in this memory card. I could even plug in my memory card to a GameCube at my friend's house. Then they can just hop on the train and visit my village. Hey, Toby. Hey, Toby. Hey, guys. I know I told you we could play.
I like how they're selling the fact that you need a full memory card to play Animal Crossing as like a positive thing here.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Just like, yeah, must saves on my memory card.
Yeah, nice work. Forgot to tell you, if you plug in your Game Boy Advance to the GameCube with this special Nintendo cable, you can unlock crazy functions in the game. My favorite, the island, which you can only unlock by having your Game Boy plugged in. Get this, you can download a bunch of NES games right into your Game Boy Advance. Mom, are we ever gonna eat dinner?
3 hours later.
And check this out. You can even sit in your Animal Crossing house and play video games inside the game. Hey, Toby, you want to hear my new town too? Of course. Good thing I have an e-reader.
Man, they're dropping everything in this, huh?
Game Boy Advance.
They are.
Like instantly updating your town's musical theme.
Okay.
I'm done designing the new clothes.
They're having a lot of fun with this. I like it.
They are.
Hey, changes.
Oh no.
Watch this. Not bad, Cindy. You guys are in trouble. Run!
Oh.
Cheese it. Time to make like a banana and split.
Yeah, go play Animal Crossing.
So because I haven't done it yet, do you have some stats on this E3? Still in the LA Convention Center. Nothing on the attendance. They don't have an attendance record for this one. And presenters were just Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony, keeping it to the big three.
Yeah.
How we define connectivity with Animal Crossing is just one approach. Potter games. This approach not only has impact on gameplay, but also on sales. To repeat one example, when we can provide classic NES games for Game Boy Advance users just by downloading them from console software, that will do nothing but boost sales of both Nintendo GameCube and Game Boy Advance. And products using our wider applications of connectivity are on the way. The motion sensor technology we debuted last year in Kirby's Duke and Tumble returns, letting you throw your game back and forth between.
Yeah, they were really ahead of the game with peripherals, eh?
They were.
They wanted the connectivity between like their Game Boy, because it makes people buy more, you know? Like, it's actually pretty smart. It's like, well, we have we have the Game Boy Advance. So, how can we make people buy that if they want to buy the GameCube?
For Game Boy Advance, you can edit your own gameplay maps and poses on your GameCube and then transport them for play on your GBA. And with the new game, Stage Debut, you can use our exclusive GameEye device to put your own face right into the game.
Woo!
All this, we think, is both innovative and remarkable. It will quickly change the way we think about games. And of course, when the Wavebird wireless controller arrives next month, we will also
Yeah, we saw that last year
the
too.
way you connect to your console. No more cables on the living room floor.
See, you can even say they kind of, I guess, revolutionized they're the first ahead of the game when it came to like wireless controllers.
There is also great excitement
Yeah, I think they were the first one to do it.
itself, right, Peter?
I said at the outset that we believe we have the strongest lineup of games that we've ever had for any console, and I'll probably say that 100 times this week. But these are amongst the most recognized and popular characters in the history of our industry. And we're going to lead off with one that is from the amazing artists at Rare, and this one truly is destined for a great stardom. Have a look.
Yeah, Star Fox Adventures. Destined for stardom, huh? That didn't really happen. At
No.
all. If anything, this became the most infamous Star Fox for not being what it should have been, to be honest. Like I said last time, though, I really want to try playing it again. Because I'm almost... Kick buttus, huh? Because I'm almost positive that the game is actually way better than what people give it credit for. It's just not a good Star Fox game, you know?
Yeah.
Which it didn't start out as one, so really, why would it be, right?
Well, yeah.
Because, like, I'll admit, even looking at this, I don't look at this and say, yeah, that's Star Fox.
Star Fox Adventures. Go extreme or go extinct.
Yeah, woo. Woo, Star Fox Adventures, woo.
And starting tomorrow on the show floor, you'll see and play
I'm going to pause here for a second, because that got me thinking, right?
Okay.
Besides just getting a lot of money, because this is the year, I believe, that Microsoft bought out Rare, right?
Mm-hmm.
Besides just being handed like a lot of money, do you think Nintendo's like kind of pushiness on Star Fox Adventures maybe is what made them switch to Microsoft?
Maybe.
Because think about it, right? It didn't start out as a Star Fox game. It started out as just like what, Dinosaur Planet, I think. And
Yeah.
then like Miyamoto, I believe himself, said, well, let's just make that a Star Fox game.
Yeah.
Right. So do you think maybe that actually had a hand in Rare going, okay, Nintendo was being a bit pushy. They're making us kind of change our game. And then it didn't sell well, right? So maybe they're like, okay, they kind of screwed us. Or I don't know if the sale happened before Adventure came out. I assume it happened after. So like, what are the odds that in like a different world where they didn't make Dinosaur Planet a Star Fox game, that like, do you think maybe Rare would have actually either stayed like independent or with Nintendo?
I mean, I think it's possible because I mean, I wouldn't be surprised over the years. Like even with Diddy Kong Racing, I know that started out as kind of like their own racing game, and then they incorporated Diddy Kong characters in there,
Yeah.
or Donkey Kong. So I could see them pushing to put their own characters in there, changing this game where they had a certain vision that didn't really fit, that kind of made the game not sell well. I could see that pushing them to make a deal with Microsoft.
Maybe, yeah. Because like, I don't know, just thinking about it. It just seems really coincidental that this is the year that a bad Star Fox game came out. Probably the most infamously like bad Star Fox game. And then it also happens to be the same year that Rare got bought out by Microsoft, right?
Yeah.
Now, once again, maybe they just maybe the money was just that good. So like, yeah, let's take it. But also, I don't know. I'm wondering if maybe they were like, yeah, Nintendo kind of meddled in our game a little bit too much and made it bad when we may have actually had something really good here. Because like I said, maybe the game itself is good. I just don't, because that's what I've heard. I've actually heard Star Fox Adventure gets more of a bad rap than what it kind of deserves. But I think the bad rap just mostly comes from the fact that it's not a Star Fox game, you know? You go in there expecting to be in your R-Wing, flying around like planets and shooting things and kind of like an arcade style gameplay, right? You don't really expect to, I'm out of the R-Wing. Okay, well, that's kind of cool to start with. And then you wander around like the planet, you're like beating up dinosaurs, and it's like, okay, so this isn't Andros, it's some kind of like, you know, dinosaur guy that wants to rule the planet. Okay. Stakes are a lot lower. Okay, and there's some kind of crystal fox woman. Okay. Strange. When do I get back into the R-Wing? And then it like never happens, right? I think I think that's kind of why it's considered bad. I mean, maybe like I said, maybe the game is bad, but I have heard that the game itself isn't really that bad. Not as bad as people make it out to be anyway, you know?
No, I assume if it was its own thing and it wasn't a Star Fox game, then people would have been a lot more accepting of it. Would have it sold better? It's hard to say, because I imagine, like you said, there's a lot of people who bought it based on the Star Fox name itself.
Yeah.
So if it was just a anonymous third-party like platform game where you explore a planet with dinosaurs, I mean, you might get more people trying that out, but at the same time, they probably had a lot of competition too.
Potentially.
So it's hard to say if it would actually sell better, but I could see that making Rare feel a little disenfranchised with Nintendo. And who knows, maybe it just came at the right time where Microsoft gave them this offer and they decided to take it.
I mean, potentially. I don't know, but it really makes you think though, huh?
Yeah.
Like when you can take all of these and really think about it. It's like, I wonder what could have been, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not like Rare thrived under Microsoft either. I'm pretty sure Rare just kind of slowly died out, like regardless. So, I don't know. I mean, it's interesting to think about though. Anyway, shall we continue?
Yeah, sure.
Games that will appeal to, and these are first-party games to younger players, to speed freaks, to extreme sports enthusiasts, and even those warped souls who prefer Mario's alter ego to the great plumber himself. So have a look at these.
No, I saw Mario Party. I want to say
Mario Party 4?
Yeah.
I remember that mini game. It's one of the ones they put in Superstar.
It is. You know, fun fact, I played Mario Party Superstar with Megan once. Absolutely kicked her ass, and she never wanted to play with me ever again.
It's not that I haven't. We just haven't got around to playing again.
I don't know if I literally mentioned it one time, and you're like, yeah, maybe when you're like streaming, maybe I'll practice it one day, and just like it's like Megan, it's okay. It's okay for me to beat you sometimes in games.
I know. I just thought it might be fun to kind of play and get used to the minigames since, well, you played a lot more Mario Party, so you clearly had an advantage there.
I mean, that is true. I did have an advantage. I don't know. I just find it funny that I did beat you pretty badly once. It's just like, okay, I don't want to play with you until I get better at the game. I don't know. Maybe it's, I don't know, I just find it funny. In that context, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I think you will agree that this is a very exciting group of games.
Yeah, they seem pretty alright. Like Wario World.
We still have
I don't know how that game did. Admittedly, I forgot there was even one on the GameCube. I remember the cover art now.
look at Super Mario Sunshine.
So Mario Sunshine. Now here is the game.
On a tropical island, far from the Mushroom Kingdom,
But it's really kind of funny because I'm pretty sure at the time when it came out,
by sunshine,
some people really didn't like it because they felt like the flood was a bit too different, I guess.
bopping, and
Yeah.
Because you gotta remember, this is coming after like 64, one of the most well-loved games of all time,
or
right?
Sony thinks.
Yeah.
So it's hard to compete. First off, it's really hard to compete because people are expecting Mario 64 just on the GameCube, right? Then you have the flood and its mechanics. And although I think it's really fun and thought it was really fun, I'm pretty sure at the time people were very lukewarm to it, you know?
But do not mess with his
Yeah, like I could see people not really liking it as much because the flood does make the gameplay and feel very different. But at the same time, it adds a lot of charm and uniqueness to this entry that I see a decent amount of people talking about online nowadays.
Yeah, like now it's really loved, right? Like that's kind of the funny thing. Now it's loved. Back then, lukewarm, from what I remember, which is really
Yeah.
funny, right? Because, like you said, it makes it different, but not really in a bad way.
Please welcome the man who created the Mario.
Well, where is it? Yay, Miyamoto! Yay! Love seeing him every single time. There's something about the
Yeah.
guy that's just so fun.
Where are you? Your son?
Oh, he's coming in through the crowd. Nice. Oh, he's playing the game from the crowd. Or I think. Yeah, he is. Okay, that's a clever way of marketing the wave bird, huh?
Yeah.
So, yo, let's see. I can play it from all the way out here. Isn't that impressive? That's such a Miyamoto thing to do, too.
Yeah.
This year, I'd like to welcome all of you to Nintendo's presentation. As always, I'd like to ask the trainer to translate. I've told you this many times before. This is the year that our leading characters really go to work in a number of new titles. So here I'm going to play a little bit more with our latest title. So here, I've got it working now, so let's play a little bit. See if we can get the game volume up a little bit higher there. Oh, as you can see, we've got some of the same actions as Mario 64, but we've added a lot more as well. Head sliding, some taiko blocking.
There you go, showing off the flood. Too slippery.
Ow.
As you can see here, Mario is spraying water around to clean up the sweat. Here, tree popped out of the ground. So you're spraying the water around. You can actually slide around in the sweat too.
Oh, I was getting it on him.
We've given him a lot of new jumps, like the spin jump. And of course, he's got his classic hip drop throw there. And as you can see, there's a leaf here. So the person swim around there to get more a little bit cleaner. Get up on the leaf there and use the water press to push the leaf around. This is kind of the basic idea of the game. There are actually a lot of tricks and puzzles in the game like this. So I hope you're all looking forward to Mario's latest adventure.
Woo. Yeah, I really like Sunshine. I always did. See, I was one of those players that played Sunshine and was like, yeah, I like it. No issues.
It always looked interesting to me. I just never got around to playing it because I didn't have a GameCube.
But I do have something else for you today. I'd like to introduce you to a little friend of mine who you've all been so kind to talk so much about.
Pikmin? You talking Pikmin?
Let's take a look at The Legend of Zelda.
Oh, no, Zelda. Oh, is this Wind Waker?
Yeah, it must be.
Every game has a story. Only one is a legend. The legend is back.
See, I saw it a year ago with Ocarina style Link.
Join Link
Now they have self-shaded Link.
and see through a vivid world of adventure unlike anything you've ever seen before. This year, the legend is reborn.
And I love Wind Waker. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I love Wind Waker a lot. I really enjoy it.
It was fun for what I played. I just never got into playing it too deep. I do want to eventually play it.
The legend of Zelda.
So, do they not have the Wind Waker title? You know, it's interesting actually.
Yeah, they must not have finalized the title yet.
Cause yeah, like you can even see here, it's kind of just Ocarina of Time, right? Like with the title, it doesn't have the dragon, the red King Red Dragon's boat, right? It doesn't have the boat in it. It doesn't have, it has like other stuff in the title. I'm pretty sure. I know the boat for sure. So that's interesting. So they don't have the subtitle for it yet, and they don't have the logo finalized.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe we saw any sailing in that footage either.
No, we
So
saw
it's
some.
likely that... Oh, we did?
No, we saw
Okay.
sailing. It was like at the beginning.
Okay, well, I must have missed that. But, yeah, I don't know, maybe it wasn't quite as big of a portion of the game at the time.
Of what we were expressing be based in reality. And with the design of the latest Zelda game, I truly feel we have created something that is both unique in look and that boasts a realistically expressive nature. So now I'm actually going to play it for you.
I wonder if this is the same demo I have actually, because I do have a demo of Wind Waker on my Legend of Zelda collection disc. I don't remember
I would
what's
assume
on it.
most likely it would be the same one.
So you've got the classic target system.
You know, the thing I love with Miyamoto is he's not really the best at playing video games, right?
Yeah.
But he has fun, and it's fun to watch him play, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he does have a fun time trying it, and I'm sure... Well, I mean, most of the gameplay gimmicks in his games or stuff that's come up with by him. So he clearly has a good sense of what makes a fun game, even if he doesn't necessarily play them himself.
Yeah.
I think I'll drop my staff here and use my sword. Oh, what's that? Somebody's here.
Come on, Miyamoto, you got this.
So, and it looks like he's dropped a sword there. I wonder where that went. I can't find the sword.
See what I mean, right? He's like, look like you dropped a sword there. No, I can't find it actually. Yeah. Okay, well, whatever. We'll just carry on, right? Like, it's not like when Miyamoto does it. It doesn't feel as like fake, I guess. Like, you know what I mean? It just seems like he's legitimately playing the game,
I mean, it does, yeah.
which is what I like about it.
I'm not sure where it went. So actually, I was supposed to pick up that sword and break through a doorway up ahead, but I can't find the sword. As you can see, it looks very beautiful in here.
Ooh.
You can link some new items as well. See, so if I had the bigger sword, I'd be able to break through that. Maybe go far as well as I planned, but that's basically what it sells. And all these graphics are being created in real time, and you'll actually be able to play about 5 levels of this tomorrow on the show floor.
See, I like that. I don't know. I like it when Miyamoto plays through a game demo. You know, I like it.
And there's actually some pretty funny scenes where Link picks up a barrel and kind of carries it over his head and does some hiding. So. But I think we've come quite away from the Ocarina of Time when we were just kind of moving images around on screen. I think that with the GameCube, we finally have your very own cartoon that you can control however you want to. But while that may be the case, I have actually brought another Zelda game with me today.
Ooh, which one?
And it is the world's most compact network game.
Which one's this? Nice.
So we connect 4 Game Boy Advances for 4-player Zelda. And since I'm going to demo
4
this
swords?
today with 4-player mode, I'm going to need
Yeah.
some help from the audience.
Looks like it.
And I was thinking of trying to get somebody to come here to help me. But as chance would have it, the man with whom I'm making this game, Mr. Okamoto, is here from Capcom today. So, Mr. Okamoto, if you can come on stage, please. And as Mr. Iwata had just introduced to you, we are working on our Triforce board project. And we're doing this with both Sega and with Namco. If we can get the logo on screen, please. There we go. Triforce, Namco, Nintendo. And this is the name of our arcade system. And I'm really, really anxious to bring games like F-Zero and Star Fox to the arcades. And I'm pretty sure that we'll be able to have 4-player Link play there as well. So I'd actually like to invite on stage from Sega, the man who is creating F-Zero for GameCube, Mr. Nakashi. And from Namco, the man who is creating the Star Fox shooting game, Mr. Haraguchi.
Whoa, it's the Triforce. It's like from the thing they said earlier. Except they also have the
They
guy, another guy worked on the game up there too. But otherwise, it's the Triforce, Namco and Sega.
Yeah.
Yes, 4 swords.
Yeah.
Step on each switch. So we'll cross the bridge and we're gonna go down towards the bottom right there. That's all head down to the bottom right. And as you can see, we have a block here that 2 people have to push. Oh, but there's only 2 treasure chests.
This is like too real.
Let's go over this way. Uh-oh, which way should we go? Well, since this remote is playing with the
Did you ever play Four Swords, Megan?
No, I haven't.
player who collects the most rupees
I played the whichever one they had on GameCube. I did play that one. It was pretty fun.
about both cooperation and competition.
Yeah. I did actually end up getting this on the 3DS because they had some kind of giveaway at one point where they gave the game away for free on Virtual Console.
Oh yeah.
I just never really had anyone to play with, so I had never played it.
Oh man, that's okay. You and me, we can be 2 out of the 4 swords.
Well, the thing is, I don't know if you need your own copy to play it on the Virtual Console.
It's okay. We'll find a way. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, these 3 guys are really, really good at games. But, as you can see, there are even times when competitors can get together and cooperate once in a while. But, I don't know, maybe if you saw on screen, I think we may have been infighting a little bit there. Thank you very much.
See, I don't know. I do think that's pretty cool. That's very Nintendo as well. It's like, well, Sega kind of died within like the last year. Here's our competitor. We're playing together, having a good time up on stage, you know? Or former competitor at this point, I guess.
Sega's
Yeah.
and Daytona USA. And I understand that you're almost done with Super Monkey Ball 2. Actually, you'll be able to play on the show floor tomorrow, so I hope everybody will check it out.
Ooh, Monkey Ball 2.
Yeah.
Such a big hit last year.
And as we introduced earlier, I understand you brought some demo scenes of F-Zero for Nintendo GameCube. So today we're showing a little bit shorter version today. Tomorrow on the show floor you'll be able to see a longer one. Let's take a look.
See, I don't know how well F-Zero did on the GameCube.
I want to say it did okay, but I don't think it sold like incredibly well.
Yeah, because like, I mean, eventually F-Zero did just kind of fade away, didn't it?
Yeah, like I think this is literally the last F-Zero game they made. I think there was only one on the GameCube.
Let me see here. For Triforce.
There are game giants amongst Nintendo games, and there are certainly game giants amongst those who create them. So in closing, as we look ahead now to the balance of this year, we are ready to meet every challenge. The needs of older gamers, the opening moves for online gaming, the conversion of connectivity from concept to real product, and a marketing program that sees us spending in the final 7 months of this year 25% more than we spent in the same time frame last year. And remember, last year we launched 2 new consoles. But at the end of the day, when you distill it all down, this remains a very simple business. And it is today, as it's always been, about games. Great games. So let's have
Hell
one
yeah.
final look at a group of great games that will comprise a portion of GameCube's 150 title library by year end. Have a look.
That's a lot of games. 150? Wow.
Yeah.
See, I kind of want to play this one. It seems interesting. See, I don't think this game did that well. I don't think the Wario World game was considered that good.
I don't believe so. Mostly because I've never really heard people online talking about it.
Yeah. Action. Spider-Man. Star Wars. Whichever one this is. Blood Rain? Yeah, Blood Rain. And I know that game, but I don't know what it's called. This one's probably just a fighting game. I don't know. I'm not too sure about that one.
Bomberman! I think it was just kicking the bombs. That's kind of funny.
Yeah. On the
Dragon Slayer? thing?
Dragon Slayer one, yeah. One of the Dragon Slayer games. I don't think that one did too well.
I mean, yeah, I could see that. It kind of looks like they turned it into a 3D platformer.
Yeah.
Hot Shots Golf? Oh, soccer. Okay. And wrestling.
In football.
Volleyball. Boxing. I do like how they're turning the sports game into more of a montage, considering, you know, most other developers have kind of taken out sports games from their presentations. At least
True.
a decent amount.
That is true. I kind of like
I
how
feel like this is a better way to showcase it.
Yeah, well, I do like this too. I like how they're doing a lot of these adventure, action. You know, like they're doing them all in montage style, which I think makes a lot of sense, right?
It does.
Because even if you don't know about the game, you can get an idea for what the game is, right? Like, okay, well, that's an action game. This is a puzzle game. You know, we saw an adventure section. Like, it makes sense, right? I think it's pretty cool to do that. Hot Wheels.
Role playing.
Die Hard. You know what I find
James
interesting
Bond.
about this, though, is that they don't have all the game's titles on screen.
Yeah. I kind of wonder when in development that the game title is really decided upon for a lot of studios. I'd be kind of curious.
Yeah, I would be too. Talking with Shigeru Miyamoto, that's cool.
Yeah, we actually erased it. So I just wanted a picture. Wait, how do you? It's the light.
There's no light?
There's no light in
Oh
it.
well, I'll never get the picture.
There you go.
This is pretty interesting. Seeing a bit more of a candid Miyamoto.
GameCube?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hello. Man, Miyamoto's great, dude. See, I can't wait till we get to this E3, because that one I remember him having a lot of fun with too.
Oh,
The one for
okay.
Twilight Princess, I believe, with the Wii. I want to
Yeah,
say.
I think it would be about that time.
Yeah. Yeah, very good stuff. Very good stuff. That one was fun. So what'd you think of that conference?
Um, I thought they showed a lot of really cool games like Metroid Prime and like Wind Waker before it was Wind Waker, Mario Party. I feel like we saw a lot of games that we've kind of already seen a little bit of pieces here and there of, like Star Fox Adventures. And I'm trying to think if there was anything else in particular, but I don't think there was anything that really stood out to me all that much. Not even Sunshine really stood out that much to me.
I mean, that
And
is fair. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
well, as I say, I'm not really sure if that's just the way they marketed it, because admittedly, like having like the tropical music over it did feel a little weird.
I mean, it's on a tropical island, though.
I know, like it makes sense, but I don't know. It kind of made it stand out to me compared to like a lot of other Mario games, for
Mhm.
better or worse.
Okay, fair. I guess my kind of takeaway with this is what we saw here, right? Were like a lot of good games, but also a lot of games that definitely missed like the mark, right? Star Fox
Yeah.
Adventure. Shoot, what was like the other one that I literally had in my mind? Technically, at the time, you could say Sunshine, right? Not so much
Mhm.
anymore, but like I said, from what I remember, it wasn't well received at first. And same with Wind Waker. You know, like I love Wind Waker, but I know at the time people shat on it a lot, mostly for its style, which I think is what made it hold up even more. But I mean, yeah, some game. What were a couple of the other ones that I saw? I know I saw like a couple here where I was like, oh yeah, no, that's it's good, but you know, kind of missed the mark. I'm not too sure, but
Yeah.
I did see a few. Overall, I'd say pretty good conference, though. To be fair, I'd say pretty good overall.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree.
But like you said, some of them we've seen bits and pieces already before. Like it's not a standout conference, but it's okay, right? And at the time, it's definitely neat to finally see like Wind Waker. See, this is the sailing bit, right? So it's kind of neat to see like some Wind Waker in action. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The legend.
And I like the trailer voice guy as well. I like how they just kind of used them for that.
Yeah.
For a few of their games. And of course, it's always fun seeing Miyamoto play games. I don't know. That's always the highlight to me with E3. He goes up, he has fun. It's not perfect, but you know, it's very, very real, you know. Okay, but yeah, overall, not a bad conference. It didn't really stick out to me, like you said, but I can't really complain. You know?
Yeah.
But they did show some bopping games for sure. All right, you think that should be it for now then?
Yeah.
All right. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. We hope you all enjoyed this look at the Nintendo 2002 E3 press conference. But for now, and of course, you know, let us know what you guys think. But for now, it is time we cue the outro. So Frag out, and we shall catch you guys later.
Bye.